Morning, everyone. Welcome back to Biblio Fitness. Hope everyone's had a great day, made some beautiful gains. Today, I did want to speak or discuss section 414 titled Voluntary Blindness. I'm going to read it right quick. Quote, excuse me. There is a kind of enthusiastic and extreme devotion to a person or a party which reveals that in our inmost hearts we feel ourselves superior to this person or party. And for this reason, we feel indignant with ourselves. We blind ourselves, as it were, of our own free will to punish our eyes for having seen too much. End quote. And it's just one of those other ones that just shows you how we double think quite often. One of our biggest traits is being able to carry that. Like, that is one of the instincts that have been passed on generations most strongly, right? Like, we are all able to double think when we take stands, right? When we take the stand of we're on the side of justice, we're on the side of right, we are on the side of freedom, equality, whatever the fuck, all these banners that have been continuously used and recycled over and over again throughout the entirety of human history, right? Every revolution, every toppling, every military coup have all been for, well, not all, but a good amount of them, right? Like a good grand portion of them require these banners in order to justify their actions. And when we are devoted to a person or a party, that love and devotion requires a sense of blindness, because if not, we become indignant, right? We see the folly of our actions. We see the folly in regards to the choice we made, in regards to the road that we have chosen to go down on, especially when people take political parties. Now, bro, everyone says they're in the right, and I'm pro-abortion or I'm against abortion, but everyone on every side has reasons that they consider valid as to why their side is correct. And we always have to take the stand that this is morally repugnant. No, you're morally repugnant. Everybody uses the same words to the point that everything has now become, there's no value in these words anymore. And the lines have become continuously blurred. And I guess that it makes sense that the appropriate response is an increase in the rhetoric of morality. Like, people are starting to realize how relative everything is, and it really is all a matter of gradations and all a matter of perspective and impressions, depending on the individual and what they've learned and stuff like that. But one of the big problems of Platonism for the people and everyone believing that they possess the truth is that everyone believes they possess the truth and they have a right to that truth. There's no work involved anymore in this process, right? And we're always going to have this problem of people, you have to be blind, because we can't even, at this point in time, we can't even agree on what these words mean anymore. We can't agree on statements. We can't agree on any of this. So how can any sort of conversation develop if we can't even agree with what is morality, what is good, what is evil, what is all these words, and what do all these words entail? And in our present ignorance and the strength supposedly in our ignorance, we can make that severance, or we can make that assumption that we know what's right, even though another person thinks that what they say is right. You're both in the same position, but we try so hard to never understand that. We try so hard to never grasp that when we judge another individual for doing something stupid, maybe in their minds they're doing something right, and you know what I'm saying, like, and vice versa. Maybe they look at you that you may be doing something that maybe is in accordance with your beliefs and is appropriate and is good, and it ticks off all the boxes on what that word entails for you, right? But then someone looking outside will look at you like a complete retard. I'm like, why is this person doing what they're doing? You're dumb. And it just goes back to like those sort of extreme emotions do require a sense of blindness, that we have to have this myopia vision, like those horses, like when they go off on a race and they need the cover blind so they don't get distracted. It's that we never want to make that distinction that our love and our devotion to our party requires a sense of delusion within ourselves, and the supposed chasing of truth, or upholding the truth of your beliefs from the very onset, from the moment of its inception, requires double think. And that's why I always think the more that people chase this so-called truth, to me it seems like the more they're actually running away from it. Running away from the actual reality of the situation. And that's why, we construct all these these ridiculous, oversimplified words like good and evil that just, encompasses so much. And, it's just blank statements. And the fact that we have become more superficial than ever has allowed us to believe all these words and never really look into the depths of it all, because we don't have any depth. We're shallow as well. So how can we possibly ascertain and extrapolate all these different meanings, right? And how can we make those sort of distinctions? And that's why there will always be factionalism, right? We need that double thing to have a stand. My cat just passed. Yeah, my cat has the zoomies right now. He's cracked out. But I just love how now it's really becoming more and more obvious that we really do blind ourselves, like I said, blind ourselves to punish our eyes for seeing too much. That we purposely blind ourselves because we don't want to believe that we're in the wrong, or that our pride doesn't allow us to believe that what I've been seeking for, or what my selfish desires have now led to, is not in the right. God is not on my side. I am not sought with favor. I am not doing the right thing. And we need that in order to continue forward, right? Like, I mean, most people have to believe that what they're doing is the right thing, this universal law, that whatever their perception of right is what everyone else should. And if not, you're an idiot, because how do you know and that's another thing. It's like, if you don't believe what I believe, then you're in the wrong. And like, but how? What makes you more correct? And that's the problem I have with religion for the most part. Is like there's a reason that things go the way they do in your books, and yet somehow we have to take your word for it. It's like, I wonder why the chosen land is off in the Middle East, and all these Abrahamic religions will say that. And I wonder why. We can never really compartmentalize everything. We can never break stuff down and really look at it objectively, instead of really seeking these things out to vindicate yourself. So you're never looking at it objectively. You're just looking at the Bible or the Quran or whatever as a way to validate whatever preconceptions you had to begin with. And you're just blinding yourself even more and thinking you're in charge of your own will, when you're continuously stifling the progress of your will, because you're purposely blinding yourself. You're going to be one of those idiots that just take everything down, whatever they're told to do. But we can never make those sort of things. We can never break away from the separation, from the view of everything as black and white, to realize that everything is a matter of perception and gradation. Even Epictetus makes a great defense to something like, when Agamemnon goes off to war in Troy. A lot of us make it seem, may have the perception that it was a deplorable thing to do, that Agamemnon and Achilles and all these other guys will go to war for such things when it was in their power to do so. When, based upon their impressions, they thought that this was the best course of action to take in order to defend their honor and the will and their vows to the gods and all this other stuff. So who are we to judge them? They acted upon their own sense of what is good and evil based on their own perceptions and acted upon it, and that's something we do all the time. But we can never make that. We can never make those connections. It's quite bizarre. But we always have to believe that we always have to have a team and an enemy. a boogeyman to keep us in fear and keep us closer to God because we don't want to be led astray. It's just ridiculous. But that's what I wanted to discuss a little bit today. I'm going to go up and study a little bit before I head to work. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. I do hope you all have a great day. Until next time, peace.